Hello friends, welcome to Python programming tutorial. To start with Python programming, always remember that everything is an object in Python and everything means everything here. Every collection, every variable, function, classes, everything is an object in Python. Python is a pure object-oriented language. Now data type is property of object and it is not property of the variable. Is basically dynamically typed, and when we assign value to variable, then only the variable gets created, and the type of variable is the type of value assigned to it. Now, variable names are case sensitive. They cannot start with a number. They can contain letter, numbers and underscore. These are some valid variable names for your reference. Python also have some reserved keyword. You can go through these keywords. We'll use and explore each of them later in this tutorial. Boolean values are represented using true and false. Now coming to data type in Python. So before starting data type, let me tell you this hash symbol is a single line comment and this triple quotes is a multi-line comment. So it's self-explanatory, you can see here. Now coming to data types, Python have the following data types. We can have numbers, int, floating or complex type. We can have strings, list, tuple, set and dictionary, and each of these types have a specific nature, specific task, specific feature and functions to support real world programming. Now these all data types can be categorized into immutable, which are list, dictionary and set, where we can modify the content of the variable. We will discuss more about this later. Or immutable, which is number, string and tuple, where we can't modify the content of variable. So basically what does it mean? That here we can modify the content of the variable without creating a new variable or new object, and here if you try to modify the content of variable, a new object will be created. So let's start with brief introduction of each of the data type. Later we'll keep on exploring the data types in the tutorial. So I'm starting with numbers. A number can be a integer, it can be a floating point number, it can be a complex number. All three numbers are provided by Python. I'll declare a variable, like for example, suppose I want an integer number, naming, I will just write int num and I will assign a value to it and I will print it here. So when I will run this file, I will get my value here. Right click, run basic, and I got 9 here. In print, I can also write a message like, for example, this is an integer number. So this is also a way you can use print, like we use printf in C language. You can give your message here, then you can write a variable here, and just you can run your program. Now a very important function here we should discuss is a type function. Using this type function, you can check the type of variable. So let's try this also. So type and a variable name. So class is int here. Now the same variable in the same program, I am going to assign it a floating point value. And now I am checking type of this again. So I got type float, and the same variable in the same program I am going to assign a complex value. We use j here for complex, and we do not use I here. And again I am checking the type of x. So it's complex. Now as I have said that numbers are immutable. So we cannot change the content of number. What does it means? I am going to introduce one more function here, which is called id. Namely, you can understand that this function will return address of memory location. Fine. For time being, I am commenting this. Now I have a variable int underscore num whose value is 9, and I am going to print address of this variable. Fine. Then I will declare again a variable y that also contains 9, and again I am going to print id of y with a message id is this, and here id of y is this. Now see carefully, this address and this address is same. Why? Since numbers are immutable and these two variables y and int underscore num contain the same value, so both the variables are referring to the same memory location. They are not referring to different memory locations. Fine. It happens for a particular range of numbers. Like if you want to check in ideally, you can check here also. So here I write x is equal to say 987, and then I write print id of x. Fine. And then I write y is equal to 9897. Then I write print id of y. So we are getting different. Why? Because I just told you it is only applicable to a particular set of numbers in Python ideally. Otherwise, if you are working on editor, it is applicable for every number. Like suppose if I have 10 here and I write print id of x, and I have y is equal to 10 here, I have print id of y. So now see, we are getting same address. So in general, it is applicable to a particular range of number, a particular offset of number internally defined by Python. But if you are using an editor, it is applicable to any range of number. Like for example, I have this number, and again I am using this number here also, and I run the program. We are getting the same ID here. So it depends upon editor to editor basically. The main concept is that we normally say that if there are two variables of a type immutable and they are having the same content, they generally refers to the same memory location. So basically the meaning is that if we have already a variable with this particular data, this particular value, and we try to create another variable with this particular value, and type of variable is immutable, normally only one object is created and both the name refer to the same object. Fine. Now what happens if I change the content? So let's see this. Now suppose what I do, I assign a float value to the same variable, and then I print the ID. So you can see we are having different IDs. So since number is immutable, as soon as I tried to change the content, a new object got created with a different memory address. So this is the basic concept of immutable variables. Now there are arithmetic operators available as in every other language. We have minus, we have plus, we have multiplication, we have division. But remember, this is floating point division. We have also double slash, which is called floor division, and this is exponential operator. So all behave in same way. We also have a modulus operator here. So all behave in same way like for other programming languages, except if I do here say 14 by 5, so in C or any other language, it will it is integer upon integer, it will return an integer, but here it will return the float value, the actual division that we get when we divide 14 by 5. So let's check. So before doing this, I will just comment these. So let's check now. So we are getting 2.8. If you want integer upon integer division like in C, or if you want only the whole number or floor of the particular this division, then we have to use floor division operator here, that is 14 upon 5, and you can see the second one. So here we are getting only floor value. So this is the difference between this floating point division, and this is called floor division, or it is also called truncation division operator. Fine. So these are arithmetic operators which are available here. Now this is a brief introduction about numbers. Now let's see the second data type, which is immutable, that is a string. So a string, we all know, it is a collection of characters. Here it is immutable in Python. We cannot change the content. To declare a string, we can have a double quotes, we can have a single quote, or if we have a multi-line string, we can have triple quote, for example, like this. So simply, it is a string. Fine. So this is the way a string looks in Python. We'll discuss only the representation of different data types here in this video lecture, and later on we will keep on exploring each of the data types and further video lectures. Now third, which is immutable, is called tuple. Tuple is represented in double quotes. If there is a single element, we put a comma here to differentiate it with different expressions. Otherwise, a tuple is a heterogeneous collection of elements. So you can store different nature of elements in a single tuple. Basically, tuple, set, list, dictionary, all are heterogeneous collections of elements. So these are three are immutable types where we cannot change the content. If we try to change the content, a new object will be created. Now mutable types are list, it's more like an array in C, C++ or Java language. It is represented in square brackets, again heterogeneous collection. We have set, again it is immutable. Represented by curly braces, again heterogeneous collection. And we have dictionary, it is also immutable. Moreover, it is a key value pair like hash map in Java, and it is also represented with curly braces. But every element has two parts. One is key, one is value. Like for example, we can have, say, book name is suppose programming in C, and suppose author name is Y Kanetkar, and again say price of book is say 90 or something. So we can create different elements here as a key value pair here. So this is a brief introduction of all the data types here. Thank you. Please subscribe the channel and click the bell icon for updated videos.